What if the calm you crave is real, until you ask for the receipt? Stay with me, and you might keep your peace and your money. The screen is bright and unforgiving, and a smile is pinned in place. A live chat scrolls like rain, and the words are sharp and fast. A finger moves a cursor toward a slide that promises proof. Millions are watching, and silence is louder than any ad. The host tries to breathe slow, but the beat is strong in her neck. Her name is Mara Quinn, and her company is called Promise Labs. She sells relief, and she sells it in neat boxes and pretty apps. She built a language made of soft words and clean colors. Tonight, the crowd asks for one hard thing, and it is data.
I will show the clinical trial, and I will answer every question.
The slide appears, and it is a tidy world with a serious font. The logo looks new, and the numbers look kind and round. The chat does not blink because the chat has seen the internet. Someone types a short question with a long shadow. The question is simple, and it bites.
Where is the registry ID for this trial?
The cursor shakes almost like a small bird in the hand. Before we see where this goes, we need the road that brought us here. 1 year earlier, Mara was the voice you play at 3 in the morning. She spoke like a friend who did not judge your panic. She offered a $7 file called the 30-Day Neurocalm Protocol. The file was short and clear, and it told you what to do each day. People like short and clear when the night is long and crowded. The file sold, and then the channel exploded, and then the store was born. Promise Labs grew from breath videos to a stack of products. There was a journal with prompts and a cold water routine with a timer. There were soft capsules called the Serenity Stack, and they tasted like mint. There was an app that clapped when you completed a calm streak. There was a retreat in the hills with a structure called the Calm Pod. The pod was a sound booth with mood lights and a low hum. It looked like a spaceship that only landed on rich stress. None of this is a crime, and people felt better, and they told friends. But relief at scale needs a story with bones. The market wants proof, and proof needs a study and a center and a seal. A new hire arrived, and her name was Nora Lee, and she was bright and tired. She wanted to help people breathe without fear, and she liked spreadsheets. The task she got sounded simple on the first day.
Compile supportive literature so our users can see the science.
Compile became synthesize, and synthesize became author. Author became speak with the voice of an institute that did not exist yet. The Huxley Center for Behavioral Health was born with a P.O. box and a logo. The logo cost $9 and looked like a leaf with a pulse. Nora stitched small studies into one big blanket of comfort. The blanket was neat, and the margins were wide and generous. The conclusions were warm, and they used words like clinically supported. The page lived on the site, and it made buyers feel safe in 2 clicks. Sales lifted the way breath lifts a chest, and the slope looked like hope. The pop star said she felt steady on tour because of Promise Labs.
If claims are suggestive and not declarative, then discovery is survivable.
That was the lawyer, and he made the room smell like printer ink and rain. Coaches were hired, and they read from scripts with soft verbs. The script said, replace panic with activation because panic triggers refunds. The script said, say community 10 times and science once. Then came Lucas, who booked the retreat with his bonus and his last nerve. He walked into the Calm Pod like a pilgrim into a small church.
I feel dizzy and the hum is in my teeth, and I want out now.
The staff fumbled, and the door stuck for a breath or two. Someone recorded, and the audio moved across phones like a lantern. It was not a fire yet, but the smoke was in the hall. Nora asked for an internal review with a voice that tried to be steady.
We need external eyes, and we need them now.
Legal sent a note that was long and cheerful and hard as stone.
Please remember your obligations, and please remember your NDA.
Nora did remember, and she remembered the weight on her chest at night. The team planned a town hall and called it Transparency Night. It would be live and unedited and full of soft lamps. The idea was a cleanse that left the brand glowing. The idea was a bet that a good story beats a hard fact. The countdown ended, and Mara looked into the lens like it was a friend. The chat asked for sample sizes and for pre-registration numbers. The chat pasted a DOI that turned out to be a cat cognition paper. The crowd laughed, and then the crowd sharpened like a knife. We paused to understand the person at the center, because that matters. Mara grew up with a father who shook in grocery lines and on buses. He held empty bottles like white flags, and he hated the look it drew. She learned 2 lessons, and both were true and dangerous. Crisis responds to ritual, and rituals can be sold. She meant well, and then she meant growth, and then she meant quarterly growth. The third, meaning, ate the first 2 and called it efficiency. Back to the stream, because the stream is a trial with no judge.
Here is the study you asked for, and here are the outcomes we saw.
The PDF opens, and it is smooth as a mirror and just as empty in the middle. A viewer posts a reverse image search for the shiny new logo.
This emblem is a stock file and it costs $9 on a design site.
The chat slows for 1 beat and then it races even faster. Influencers who sold the capsules post short notes with sad music.
I am so sorry and I trusted the brand and I will learn.
2 ex-coaches leak the script that tweaks words like a tiny wrench. Another leak shows a staff note about beta blockers for special clients.
They called them performance vitamins, and they came in a plain bag.
The internet loves a fall almost as much as a rise, and this one has both. Nora sits in her kitchen with a laptop and a clock that will not blink. She tries to make it true before she tries to make it public.
I can pre-register a pilot with a small university and let it run clean.
Leadership says no, because clean is slow, and slow is death to a chart.
Peer review is nice, but peer influence is revenue.
Nora records a short voice note to herself, and then deletes it. She gathers the original draft with tracked changes like scar tissue. She sets a timed email to a journalist, and she breathes like she is learning again. The timer reads 12 hours, and she feels both light and hunted. Back on the stream, the cursor hovers like a moth over a porch light. Mara has 2 choices, and both are pain, and one is clean. She picks the clean one, but she picks it slowly, and the crowd counts.
The Huxley Center is a privacy shield and not a full university lab.
The sentence lands like a glass that did not break, but made a sound.
The synthesis used small effects and did not run a registered trial.
The crowd hears one true thing and wants the rest of them. A veteran types a line that stops the room for a second.
Placebo or not, I slept for the first time in months, and I want that to be okay.
Another user types a line that shakes the new calm.
My brother fainted in your pod, and I want that to be seen.
2 truths share the table, and neither makes the other vanish. Mara looks older by minutes and stronger by half an inch.
We are opening a full refund portal tonight, and it will stay open for a quarter.
A link appears and clicks begin like small taps on a window.
We will fund an independent randomized trial, and we will not run it or steer it.
A notice pops up on the screen from a third-party institute that is not for sale.
We confirm a plan for a transparent study with public data and strict reporting.
The chat shifts from rage to questions to tired jokes in 4 minutes. The app team moves fast and removes the neuroscore that made people check the neuroscore. They push 1 new screen with 1 new practice, and it is heavy and light. The screen says, "Tell one true thing today, and let it be enough." The applause sound is gone, and the phone is quiet, and some people smile in that quiet. Promise Labs loses most of its value on paper, but keeps something on the ground. It keeps a group of people who do not need to be dazzled to be loyal. They need to be told the limits like the weather, and then left to choose. After the stream, Mara calls Nora with a voice like someone stepping outside.
Thank you for pushing for the audit, and for not letting me dodge this.
Thank you for saying it out loud when it counted.
Nora walks out of the office with a box and a spine and a simple plan. She will help build trials that are boring and real and slow and good. She will sleep through the night without a screen telling her that she did. Mara begins a small road back with less shine and more notes. She tells her team to stop using the word proven and to use the word might. She tells her team to pay for independent ethics and to show the bill. She knows some people will never forgive her, and that is fair. She knows some people will follow her only if she walks now and not talk now. Weeks pass, and the noise lowers, and the work gets plain and practical. Refunds finish, and many people keep the practice without the label. The trial starts, and real consent forms are signed with real pens. The sample size is not perfect, and that is written down and not hidden. The outcomes will take months and not hours, and that is the point. In another city, Lucas drinks water and laughs at a small thing.
I still hate hissing sounds, but I am fine in rooms with people again.
He still can feel the old fear at the edge of a day, and now he names it. He does not buy pods anymore, and he walks at dusk and watches clouds. In a quiet office, Nora reads raw data and marks outliers in gray. She emails a statistician and waits without shaking her leg. In a smaller studio, Mara sits with no ring light and no script.
Here is what we know today, and here is what we do not know yet.
She says that line a lot, and her views are lower and safer. She grows a new habit, and it is to write her errors first. She grows a line she says to herself when the old hunger arrives.
Do not sell certainty, because certainty is the most addictive drug.
The market is still a loud animal, and it still wants tricks. She gives it fewer tricks and more receipts, and it gets bored and goes next door. That is fine, because people are not markets even when they spend in them. You might wonder about the big lesson, and I will give it to you straight. A lie can calm you faster than truth, and it sends the bill with interest. If you sell calm, you must sell the uncertainty with it, or it rots. If you buy calm, ask for the limits first, and see if you still want it. If your piece is rented, it will always check your bank before it checks your pulse. If your piece is practiced, it will check your breath and let your bank be a bank. I promised a ride, and I hope you felt the turns and the brakes. You met a woman who learned the cost of a clean logo and a fast chart. You met a worker who chose slow truth over quick grace. You met a client who saw fear and named it and kept walking. The opening question has one answer that fits in a small space. Your calm is real when you can keep it after the story ends. Now I will give you some quick closing words with the same plain voice. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this story. If you liked this piece, please tap like and hit subscribe and leave a comment. If you want to support the channel, please use the QR code on the screen or the link in the description. There are links in the description to other works from a very different series. I will be back soon, so please come watch the next one too.